Welcome back to the second in this set of videos exploring key ideas in Do Sweat the Small Stuff. The concept I want to talk about today expands on the last video in terms of why our micro interactions matter. And it's the idea that our micro interactions are never neutral. They are all contributing in some way to the trajectory of a relationship. So consider that every micro interaction is doing one of three things in any given relationship: growing it, killing it, or letting it die. So let's look at the latter two first. So some interactions, when they're repeated over time, will ultimately kill a relationship. It could be consistently mispronouncing someone's name, regularly ignoring someone or not listening to them properly, repeatedly speaking over someone, or being short, being snarky with people, or regularly sounding impatient or frustrated. All of these, I would argue, are actively relationship destroying. Some interactions aren't so obviously damaging, but nonetheless over time will still cause a relationship to deteriorate. These ones often reflect inattention, neglect, or simply a lack of effort or care. Could be always being a little bit late to a meeting or frequently cancelling at short notice. It could be a habit of only half paying attention or multitasking or requiring people to repeat themselves. Each one is an irritant in the moment, but over time they will erode trust and respect until the other person just isn't interested anymore. And that's where you're letting your relationships die through a lack of attention to your micro interactions. Or your micro interactions can grow your relationships. They can nourish them, building trust and respect and deepening understanding. They can leave the other person feeling seen and heard and understood, which will only strengthen a relationship over time. There's a couple of related points it's worth making here. First, any single micro interaction will not make or break a relationship. Anything with the capacity to do that cannot be described as micro. And second, even when you're making the effort, even with your best intentions, not every single micro interaction is going to be net positive. We've got to be realistic here. What matters is the direction of travel. On balance, are the majority nourishing and growing your relationships, or are the majority neglecting them, or worse, actively killing them? And equally crucially, when you realise you've messed up, do you take ownership of that and make amends, or do you ignore it and push on through? This is why not paying attention to them really isn't an option in the long run. If we're not actively looking for ways to make our interactions relationship enhancing, we may turn around one day and find that some of our relationships have suffered some serious or perhaps terminal damage. A final point worth making here is about the micro interactions where you're not actually in any form of relationship with the person that you're interacting with. So could be a hotel receptionist you only see once, or a random person in the park you say hello to or smile at. With these, if you aren't paying attention to your interactions here, the relationship you may ultimately damage is the one with yourself. Because if you're out in the world not taking the time or not making the effort, at least most of the time, even for a stranger, it won't leave you feeling good about yourself and probably won't put you in a good mood. Taking care with how you interact with everyone is actually a life-enhancing behaviour for you and for them. Let me know what you think in the comments. Which relationships are you growing, and which might you be at risk of neglecting or even actively killing? In the next video, we're going to take a look at how this manifests in the workplace as a leader, and why your job is in fact your people. So if you want to make sure you don't miss it, you can click on the bell in my profile and you'll get notified when it gets posted. But either way, I'll see you there.